Hello, everybody, and welcome to predictions for week 5 of the UFL season. After last week, quite a few teams are looking to bounce back, and quite a few teams are going to be starting new quarterbacks this week. So, before I dive right into it, I want to quickly say if you're new, subscribe, it's really appreciated, and leave a like as well and comment down below your predictions, any upsets you have. Now, let's get right into it. To kick off week 5 Friday night at 8 p.m. EST, the Birmingham Stallions are going to be hosting the Memphis Showboats as both teams are starting new quarterbacks this week. For the Stallions, this is their third different starting quarterback, as Case Cookis is going to be behind center, in what is a very good week for him to get his first start, going against a Memphis team that really has no consistency on either side of the ball. So thus, this is a game where he doesn't need to play hero at all. He can just play his style and make the smart decisions and allow the defense to help out and get in this win and play a really good complementary style. So Memphis, though, they're starting a new quarterback. And it's not either EJ Perry or Troy Williams, despite last week going back and forth between them, the 2 QB system, and a style that I don't like. They decided to go with neither and are starting Dresser Win this week in a decision that makes no goddamn sense to me. But this is Memphis this season. They're making a lot of decisions that make no sense and are playing a style of football that hasn't really found a sensibility factor to it. So they're starting Dresser Win, a guy who I fully admit I don't know a full lot about and what his style really entails, but it is just a different guy behind center for Memphis. Would hope that his style will be able to bring out the best in his team. But he's going against a really tough defense in Birmingham. I do have the Stallions winning this game because they rolled a good die for this game in the sense that going against a first time starter in Dresser Win, going against a team as a whole that has yet to find a solid foot in this season. And even though they're themselves are starting a new quarterback, their ground game is really damn good. Their defense is really damn good. There's gonna be enough to get the win. Give me the Stallion. Next up, Saturday at 7 p.m. EST, the Michigan Panthers make the trip to play the St. Louis Battlehawks at the Dome in America Center in what's going to be a really, really damn good game. The Battlehawks are looking to bounce back after another tough loss as they're going to be starting Max Duggan this week since Manny Wilkins is dealing with his injury. They also recently signed Brandon Silvers to be at QB3 again, as St. Louis is still trying to figure out now what their new identity is going to look like. Meanwhile, Michigan had a pretty good win last week and are playing really damn well this season with Bryce Perkins behind center. I know there were some reports that they might bring that Danny Edling is expected to be back this week from injury and that they might go back to the 2 QB style, which I would hate it if they do. But if they ride Bryce Perkins the entire 60, I like Michigan's chances. If they go with that weird kind of 2 QB system, I don't fully love their chances, but the Bryce Perkins minutes is still going to be the more explosive minutes out of this game, just because what we saw from the offense of St. Louis last week against a really good front seven in Arlington's, they're going to struggle against another really good front seven, it seems. So I'm going to have the Panthers win in this game, especially if Bryce Perkins plays the full 60. And even if it is that weird semi 2 QB system that they like to do with Perkins and Edling, I think they'll be just fine in this game. So yeah, I do have the Panthers. What is game of the week? It is Sunday at noon as the DC Defenders make the trip to Texas as they play the Arlington Renegades. This is going to be a fantastic game on ESPN to begin the Sunday slate for the UFL. And it's going to be a very tough test for both teams. Both teams are right there at the top of the UFL and of the XFL conference. And going to come down to the wire in this one, and going to come down to which defenses can just make a key stop when they need to. The front sevens of both teams are some of the better front sevens in the league, and they're going against some of the better quarterbacks in the league. Jordan Tiamu played a really damn good game last week and even used his legs to a good efficiency against the San Antonio team in the losing effort, and they only lost that game really because of a special teams mishap, giving up that punt return. Arlington had a dominant showing against St. Louis. Defense played really well, Perez played well, and really as a whole, that Arlington team played well. And yes, there were some mistakes like that pick six that Perez threw, but it's still the case of they were going against another solid defense. They had a really tough matchup, a really good matchup. I'm going back and forth on who to pick for this game. I'm going to say now I'm going with DC. Although this is going to be a really tight matchup and a really damn good game. Only reason I'm leading towards DC is they have played near perfect football up to this point in the season, and the only reason they didn't win last week was because of an uncharacteristic mistake on special teams that there is a very good argument should have been called back in the first place due to holding. I'm not sure why they didn't, but the play stood and DC ended up losing that game. So I'm going to pick the defenders to win this one with the idea that they won't make a special teams mistake again. To wrap up UFL Week 5, we have the home opener for the San Antonio Brahmas as they host the Houston Roughnecks. And yes, we are 5 weeks into the season, and San Antonio is finally playing a home game. That's what happens when you play your home games at the Alamo Dome. They have a lot of events going on there. But still, that stadium is going to be rocking. San Antonio had a great win last week against DC, and it's feeling like this offense is finding its groove. Anthony McFarland is being a bigger factor in the offense. Kellen Mond is playing better and being more consistent with his passes. And the defense as well is finding its rhythm at just the perfect time, as they are still very much in the race for the XFL conference and to make the playoffs. Houston had a tough loss last week against Birmingham, but it was still a game they played pretty well in, and Jalen McClendon stepped in and did a good job through the air. He's more of the pocket passer, even though it's not really a pocket passer, it's more sort of a balanced style quarterback. Nonetheless, he played pretty damn well in his showing last week, so it's going to be a really tight and really good game probably. I do have the Brahmas winning this. It's their home opener. They're coming off of one of the best wins we've seen this season, probably aside from that DC Birmingham game in week 1. So they're riding hot. They're playing well. Hayden Party for the interim head coaching position. He's doing a pretty damn good job through a week and a half, basically, as being the interim head coach. So I do have the Brahmas winning this game and winning their home opener and getting things back on the right track. Well, there you have it. My predictions for week 5 of the UFL season. Let me know your thoughts down below and what upsets you have and what predictions you have. I'll see you all next time. Have yourselves a damn good one. Peace.